There was a time when nothing had a name. Not your mother, not the sky, not fire, not even you. Imagine waking into a world where everything is familiar, but nothing can be called. You can point, you can shout, you can imitate sounds, but you cannot say, "Look at that tree," because the idea of a tree does not exist yet. It sounds impossible. But for most of human history, that was reality. Our ancestors walked across forests, rivers, and mountains long before they invented words for them. They survived by instinct, memory, and observation. Yet every generation had to rediscover much of what the previous one had already learned. Then something extraordinary happened. Humans stopped seeing the world as individual objects. They began grouping things into invisible categories. One sound no longer meant one single animal. It could mean every animal of the same kind. That tiny change rewired the human mind. Language didn't simply help us communicate, it changed the way we thought. The famous linguist argued that words are not just labels. They create relationships between ideas. Once a sound becomes linked to a concept, your brain can store it, combine it with other ideas, and pass it to someone else. A child no longer has to discover fire alone. They only have to learn one word. Researchers studying modern infants have found something remarkable. Babies begin recognizing patterns before they can even speak. But once they learn names, their ability to group objects improves dramatically. A single word becomes a mental shortcut. Imagine trying to remember 1,000 different plants. Now imagine remembering only 20 categories. Your brain suddenly has room for everything else. This is called categorization. It may be the greatest invention humans never built. Anthropologists believe this ability helped early humans teach faster, cooperate better, and preserve knowledge across generations. Instead of showing every child every dangerous berry, one warning could protect an entire group. One word, thousands of lives. But names did something even stranger. They created things that don't physically exist: justice, money, family, country. You cannot touch any of them. Yet billions of people organize their lives around these invisible ideas every single day. The historian argues that humanity's greatest advantage isn't intelligence alone. It's our ability to believe in shared stories. Those stories begin with names. Without names, there are no laws. Without laws, there are no cities. Without cities, civilization never begins. Even your own identity depends on this invisible system. Your name is one of the first sounds you ever learned. Over time, that sound became connected to every memory, emotion, success, and failure you've ever experienced. If you had been given a different name at birth, would you still feel exactly like the same person? Psychologists have found that people often develop unconscious preferences for letters found in their own names. It's called the name letter effect. Something as simple as a word can quietly influence decisions throughout an entire lifetime. But here's the strangest part. Nature doesn't need names. A wolf doesn't call itself a wolf. An eagle never says the word sky. The ocean has no idea it is called an ocean. Names exist only inside human minds. Reality continues without them. That means every border on a map, every job title, every nationality, every company, every religion, every scientific field, every planet, every emotion exists because humans agreed to attach sounds to ideas. The universe never signed that agreement. We did. So the next time you say the name of an object without thinking, remember what you're really doing. You're not just speaking. You're activating one of the greatest inventions in human history. A tool so powerful that it transformed scattered memories into knowledge, strangers into civilizations, and sounds into reality itself. Perhaps the biggest invention wasn't fire, or the wheel, or writing. Perhaps it was the moment one human pointed at something, made a sound, and another human understood exactly what they meant. Because before things had names, the world existed, but humanity, as we know it, did not.